we're now in daylight savings, so the clocks have jumped forward. We lost that hour, but it does mean that we've got more hours of daylight in the evening. Now, today is the first day that I'm going to be clearing my compost heap this year. I want to get all the really nice soil that's underneath it and put it in the beds, and then also get some more room. So I've got my shovel, but if I show you, this is currently the state of my compost heap. You can see it's very full, and it's very dry, and it doesn't look like there's a lot going on in there. So what I need to do is I need to pull all of this out. So I just get a shovel and I'll draw all of this out down here, this sort of dry stuff that hasn't composted, dig out all the stuff underneath and put it on the beds, and then put all of this straight back in. I'm actually quite impressed with that. There's quite a lot of compost quite high up. I was expecting to have to dig right down to here before I hit decent compost, but that's actually not too bad. So I'm going to start digging this out, putting it into buckets and putting it around the garden. I'm always quite amazed at composts, because for some reason I always think my compost is not going to work, because it's a tiny little garden compost, it doesn't get much sun, it's always very dry. So I'm always astounded, and I don't think I should be, but by Mother Nature and how worms and bugs and bacteria just break it down. So this is how much I've taken out already. You can see it's quite a sizable lump, and that's given me 4 nice buckets of really good compost. Now they're not awesome, they have got stones and you can see there are little bits, but I'll just pick these out on the bed and they'll continue to get rotted down on the bed as well. But it always astounds me how just a little compost bin, so this is a very small, it's not even I think it's like a 1 by 1 by 1 pallet compost bin, but it's given me so much compost. And I haven't even got to the bottom of it yet, I've only done maybe 1/3 of what's there. So I'm going to carry on and put it on the beds. So that's 12 buckets of compost out on the garden, and actually I managed to do it all, and I haven't even used all of the compost in the compost bin. Now there's one more thing to do, and that is to water and also get a chicken out, because chickens are not allowed in compost heaps. Come on, where are you going? Oh. So if you think I've taken all of that really nice moisture retentive soil out of the compost heap, and I need to add a little bit of water back in, and I'll keep watering this for the next few days just so that it can all settle again, because this is everything that's come out and was down here, and I'll put it back in. So I'm going to keep it watered, this will all settle, and I've used about half that compost to do the entire garden, which is not bad, and the compost heap is now ready to start turning and working for me this year. April showers and all that, but it actually hasn't rained that much, so I am actually doing a lot of watering at the moment. So you can see where I've mulched, but I am actually having to go in and just water, especially those little transplants that I put out, those rose campions. As you can see, and you can see they've started growing, but they do need this constant water to keep them going. The mulch obviously will lock in moisture to the ground, and actually giving it a little bit of water now will just mean that it'll be even more wet, and again it can lock that moisture into the ground and plants can use it. So we'll do those. Now I did cut back those dogwoods as well, and if I take you down here, I've taken loads of cuttings from the dogwoods. Now they take ages to root, ages and ages. So the most important thing is to keep this ground moist, because I want to ensure that if any do start producing roots, they take. So I'll be keeping these wet for the foreseeable future. The foliage will all die, that's not unexpected. They will all die, it will drop off, and for all intents and purposes they will look pretty dead. But actually you can see these ones, these are the tips. So this is the start of a flower. There's a couple which have stayed fairly nice. So if you can keep that, if you can keep those leaves perky and upright and keep them watered, these are the ones that are more likely to take. But that's not to say that these won't either. So I've got a load of plants there that hopefully, even if half take, I've got, you know, 10, 15 plants, all that can go up to the farm. So I'll be keeping those nice and wet for the coming months. So the final thing I'm going to do today is get some vegetable seeds in, some radishes to be specific. Now I could have started these in March or even at the end of February, but it's taken me till April to get them in. I do love a good radish, and so I'm going to start those today. Now, one of the places I was going to put them was just down here, but that's all chicken muck, so that's way too fertile for radishes. I just end up with hardly any root and a lot of leaves. So what I've decided to do instead is here my cabbages, is here. I've got some lovely kale, but these plants are getting leggy, and as you can see here, they're starting to go to seed. They're going to flower. So I don't want to pull these out quite yet because they are still giving me a few leaves, just both for me and for the tortoises. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a couple of rows in here, and then when these go out I can sow more. And then this is also my broad bean bed, so when the broad beans have gone over I can sow lettuces and radishes all in here. Now the variety I've got is icicle, long white slender roots. I've run out of all of my other ones, bright lights and things like that, so I'm going to have to pop to the shop and get some more, but for today I can just get some of these in their place and get them going. So I'm going to crack on putting those radishes in, and I might sow a few other things as well while I'm at it, and also get some watering done because it is a very, very nice day, and I need to take advantage of these days to get out into the garden and do stuff. Thank you for stopping by. Please hit the thumbs up if you've liked the video, and hit subscribe so don't miss any future updates both here and up at the farm. If you're over on Facebook, come across and join us at Brimwood Farm's community group, and especially at this time of year we are talking about a lot of stuff because the season is getting going. But if not, I shall say goodbye and see you soon. Bye.